Morning guys, welcome back to the channel. So, magical place today. We're out in the Bay of Quinte fishing giant walleyes. It's about 8 o'clock now. We've had maybe a dozen marks myself and a dozen marks my clients in their tent, but nothing wanted to commit so far. I started the... Oh, there we go! Baby! Yeah, first one of the day during the intro. Got a big one on the jigging wrap. Right on. Got a little fog going on there, but first fish of the day. So like I was saying, we are in the Bay of Quinte. We're fishing walleyes and hoping to get on some big ones. We've seen some, quite a few marks, some big marks. It was a little bit dark this morning to do an intro. There's the first fish of the day. Like I said, I'm out with clients right now. I started my morning with a jigging wrap on one rod and fishing dinner bell spoon on the other rod on frostbite true grit medium 38 inch. I'm paired with 10-pound mono on this one, and on the other one I have 10-pound braid going to barrel swivel with 8-pound fluoro. So that's the first fish of the day. I'm going to be here for 8 days, some clients, some filming, should be on some monsters. This is where I caught my 13.5 pounder last year. Link that video below. And let's get to the day. Should be an absolute awesome day. Not too cold, sun's out, a little bit of cloud, west wind, snowstorm yesterday. Let's get to it, should be awesome. You're marking one, that's a nicer mark. Come on, baby. Come on. Oh, I missed him. I missed him. Number 2! Alright guys, so definitely not what we wanted, but fish number 2. Another little baby. They're just starting to chase. I've seen some big marks, but only these little ones are committing, so we'll get this one back. Come on, bud. What's wrong with you? See ya. And that's number 2. Clients missed one as well. We've marked probably 25 fish between the two tents, and they're just not committing, so I'm hoping today at some point. I've had some of my biggest fish during the middle of the day, so we had that storm roll through last night, and it's bluebird skies today, so I imagine it's going to pick up with the cold front coming tomorrow. So let's see what happens. Big fish coming on deck today. It's going to happen. I feel it. Let's go. Yes. There we go. Not a bad fish. There we go, guys. Biggest one of the day. Maybe like 16-incher. Clients just lost like a 7-pounder. That'll be my first keeper of the day. Gonna give him a little bunks, get back down there. It's like 10 after 3. Evening bite should really heat up. This is the 4th fish of the day now. Got that fish on the perch jigging wrap. It's like a shiny, glossy perch fire tiger. It's the 2nd fish of the day on that. Let's get back down there. Prime time's coming. Big fish coming on deck. Let's get them. Let's get them. Get them. There we go. that's pretty sweet. Third fish of the day for me. Got another fish on the screen right now, about the same size, I'd say. They like that jigging wrap. They don't want to commit to the buckshot, but definitely like that jigging wrap. Magical thing about this place is like, you can have a mark come in and it looks small, it's just off to the side and then gets thumped by a giant. Like, you can catch a 15-pounder at any time out here. So amazing. Even though I haven't got a big one today, I know it's coming. Here for 8 days, there's gonna be some big fish coming up on top of this ice by the time I leave. And then I'm only gone home for a couple days and I'm back for another 6, so lots of time for Quinte. So a little update, it's almost 4 o'clock now. I've had 3 small fish, one that I ended up keeping, and my clients had like a nice 6 or 7 pounder that they lost right at the hole. And they caught one around 1.5 pounds, 15 or 16 inches as well. I just wanted to go over what I was doing. I've caught 2 fish now on jigging wrap and 1 fish on a buckshot, and I'm working the baits almost similar. So I'm doing like pretty big rips right now, like 1 to 2 to 3 foot rips, trying to call those fish in, staying high up off bottom, 1.5 to 3 feet. Those big rips and letting it fall back down through the water column is allowing fish to see it from further out. So if I have a bait that's like, say, this far off bottom and a fish is cruising at that height and I'm jigging, he can only see it till when he gets close. But if I have a bait way up here, a fish can see it silhouetted from farther away. So by jigging farther up and doing these big sweeps, you're drawing fish in from further away and they'll be active and come in looking to eat that bait. So then when you see them on the screen, normally they're already at the height of your mark, and then you can just continue to work it up and see the mood of that fish. So I'm doing those big 2 to 3 foot jigs, getting a fish to come in, a lot of times using 2 rods at the same time, similar baits, and when that fish shows up on the graph and I can see him coming up and chasing my bait, I'm really just kind of popping it on the spot. Like 1 to 2 inch pops, working it up, reeling my slack. Sometimes you'll get those fish to come up to 10 feet under the ice, 5 feet under the ice. And if they go back down, a lot of times if you open that bail, if that fish is fired up, he'll turn around and come back up and you'll get maybe a 2nd or 3rd chance. Even sometimes when you hook them and bring them up, you can drop back down after losing them and get them to bite again. So that's pretty much the technique I use for my jigging wraps, spoons. Might just change up the cadence a little bit. So instead of like doing bounces like this, 2 to 3 inch bounces on the spot, I might do a little bit faster 1 inch bounces or slower like 3 inch hops, depending on the fish, what they want. Today they've been really inactive this morning. This afternoon they actually turned on a little bit, so I'm hoping now with the sun going down, the evening bite's gonna turn on. So just wanted to show you guys what I was doing. I'm fishing with that Frostbite True Grit, I said that earlier, and this rod's been phenomenal. It's a 38 medium, full graphite rod, super great bend to it, and honestly one of the ultimate walleye rods I've ever used for big baits. This is a medium, and it honestly fights like a medium heavy backbone with a medium tip. All around great rod, getting the job done for sure. Hope to put a big girl on her this afternoon or in the coming days. Let's get back to it. Well guys, that wraps it up for day 1. Bay Quinte was a little bit of a slower day, but the fish were still cooperating, so I cannot complain. I got on some fish, my clients got on some fish, nothing giant, but we're gonna be back out early tomorrow morning. It's supposed to be freezing cold, a little bit different conditions. Gonna make this into a little bit of a 2-part video, so let's get to sleep. Gonna wake up bright and early and make the walk back out, same spot, set up the tents, and get back to fishing. Next time you see me, I'll be back in the tent, freezing my little knickers off, jigging, hoping for some big bars of gold. Let's go back in the hotel, go to sleep, see you in the morning. What a morning it has been. That is some nice gold right there. super good eater. Choke the acne hyper rattle. It's a little foggy in the tent still. It's really early here. There's like 4 fish with this fish. There we go. Super beauty fish. Let's get back down there. No time to waste. Back-to-back fish. Dinner bell fish. Let's go. 4th one of the morning. Just a little guy. Still a beauty. Number 5. Yes, dinner bell is doing the work this morning. That's amazing. Like 20 minutes of fishing back to back to back to back to back. Let's go. Come on, that's a big fish. Yes. Woo-hoo! Yes. All right, guys. There we go. Double 4 and 5 pounders. Perfect eaters, man. What a way to start. It's my like 5th or 6th fish. Back-to-back giants. Well, not big for Quinte, but big if you're a walleye fisherman. Had a bunch of fish on the Acne Hyper Rattle so far. I'm using the dinner bell from Frostbite, but in a purple and silver. I'm not sure what the color is. And they were chasing it at the start, and I had 2 full minnows. Snipped the bodies off, just put the heads, and like every fish that was coming up to it was committing, like bam, 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 bam. Yesterday was slow, we marked a lot of fish. Today I've marked 10 fish, landed 6. Amazing. So good, just changed batteries. Had to defrog my camera because I was having a hard time. But yeah, welcome back to the channel. It's been pretty awesome. Yesterday we had, I think I had 4 fish, and my client had a small one and a 6 or 7 pounder he lost at the hole. A lot of fish racing up and down. We came back to the same spot knowing the fish were here, and it's minus 36 this morning and the fish are fired up. My clients are in the insulated tent, so I'm back in the older Pala, no insulation. It is freezing. It's hard to just keep my hands warm, they're just constantly wet, so I got the heater right beside me. Let's get back to fishing. Beauty gold bars on the ice already. Let's go. Yes sir, he choked it. Changed to a buckshot because the current picked up, and the dinner bell was just drifting too much off out of the cone. And I don't have any tungsten dinner bells, so I'll switch to a buckshot right away. Literally like seconds after dropping. Just with heads again. The heads seem to be working really good. Man, I don't want to get my pliers out. Okay. There we go. Super nice fish. And that's a limit. Marking one here. Here he comes fast. Here he comes again, super fast. Come on, baby. Oh, he had it. There we go. There we go. This is a nice fish. That's a nice fish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yes. Just chowed that buckshot again. Alright guys. Look at that guy. Oh wow. Super beautiful fish. That's my 7th of the day. All between like, all the ones I kept are between like 4 and 6 pounds. I got this one a second ago too. Got my limit. And now we're just fishing. Now we're just fishing for a big fish. Absolutely loaded down there. We're gonna keep jigging. Buckshots, acne hyper rattles, dinner bells, all killing it. I'll go over some of the more stuff of what I'm doing right now, but we're gonna get back to fishing. Let's get back to fishing. And oh, they're coming. Oh yeah, he's coming. And with the amount of fish we marked, I was like, well, we can go to another spot where I know they're biting. I was like, but it's a 1.7 kilometer walk. Or I was like, we can come back here and it's like a 400 meter walk. And one of the clients is like 70 years old, so he was like, yeah, with the number of fish we saw. Oh, I got one. Got one. Oh yeah. Still another one down there. On the phone with Jared, guys. Say hi, Jared.
Yo!
Jared's at home wishing he was here, guys. But he'll be there this weekend. We will reunite. Little guy. Back down.
Good.
I got one coming. One sec.
Yeah.
Got him. Nice one. Oh. There you go.
Cool.
On the phone with the dad, guys. Got a fish. There's another one down there. I can't even keep him because I already got my limit. Oh yeah, there's 2 down there. Freaking no pliers. Going back down. See you later, bud. It is on fire. Every fish I mark eats. Okay, so what are you doing? Going. Dude, they're on fire.
Is it?
Yeah, I got one right now.
I can hear your rod going.
That's the 17th fish since this morning.
Really, eh? Non-stop?
Non-stop.
That's wild.
Just want to get a quick measure on these fish here. So you're allowed 4 fish in Quinte, 1 over 25, 3 under 25. I know these are all unders, but I just want to know how big we're dealing with. 22 and a half. Super nice fish. We got 20 and 3/4. 21 and a 1/4. And 19. All really great fish. Well guys, a little update time. It's like 1 o'clock now. It's gone pretty slow. Still marking a bunch of fish. They seem to just be following, coming up, going back down. I went and took a little break with the clients and explained a little bit of the jigging, the cadence, how fast they should be going. And I smoked 2 fish back to back while I was in the tent. So bite's still there, smaller fish. You never know, some of my biggest fish have been caught midday, like between 11 o'clock and 1 p.m. It's a magical place. You never know when that giant double-digit fish is gonna roll through. So we're just settling in, waiting for the evening bite right now. Shouldn't be long. I imagine the fish will start to fire up around 3 o'clock. It was really cold this morning, minus 36, but there's no wind, and with the sun, it's absolutely boiling in the tent. It's like minus 17 outside right now, but the cold seems to have the fish really fired up. Caught a bunch of fish on the frostbite dinner bell this morning. Also using the Acme Hyper Rattle as well as a buckshot spoon, all tipped with minnow heads. The Acme Hyper Rattle, minnow head on the treble underneath, and then the Frostbite dinner bell as well as the buckshot. I usually use them with full minnows, but the fish was following. Didn't want to commit. I pinched the bodies off, and the head seemed to be do the ticket. Sometimes they like that hook just doing a little bit of a tighter wobble compared to having that big minnow on. It's going to do a big sway and really move and make a big profile bait, which they don't always want to eat. So seems to be the ticket today. We seem to be on them. I'm going to be here for like the next couple days, so gonna get back in the tent, gonna do more fishing, see what this evening brings. Hopefully a giant. Had a bunch of fish between that 20 to 23 inch mark, looking for that 25 plus incher. 30 inch would be amazing. I imagine we're gonna get into some big fish this week. Bunch of videos coming to you guys. Stay tuned, keep watching. It's not over today until it's over. Oh, I can't see. Go see how the boys are doing. Oh, I see some fish. Nice. The backfish? Yeah. Nice. Still rolling. Yeah. No, they're rolling. Lots of fish. It's like 11:30. We're still catching like crazy. Bye. So a lot of guys use, I find, just one rod when they're fishing in Quinte, and the dead stick is really not effective here, I find. So if you're gonna just jig and you want to be concentrated on getting those fish to follow and not get mixed up with two rods, one rod is definitely the way to go. Have a second rod ready with a second bait, even if it's the same bait that you're still using, just to fire back down the hole if you have your minnow ripped off or if you have a school roll in. A lot of times you can get fish in quick succession with like catching a fish on one rod and then having your second rod ready and dropping it back down when you have a school of fish in. But I personally like to fish with two rods. A lot of guys like to use similar baits, but I'm honestly running two totally different baits. I got a big jigging wrap, number 7 on my right hand rod, and on the True Grit Frostbite rod I'm running spoons. So I'm using dinner bells, buckshots, coffin spoons, crocodiles, Swedish pimples. Today it doesn't really seem to matter what spoon is on there as long as it's tipped with minnow heads. So I'm doing very, very big jigs here. It's not like working walleye in any other place that I fish where you're staying close to bottom. A lot of times they're not coming up more than 5-6 feet. These fish will hit you 5 feet under the ice and 30 feet of water. So I'm doing big jigs. It's clear here. The higher up your bait is off bottom, 2-3 feet, the easier those fish can see it. So I'm doing big, big jigs, 2-3 feet to call those fish in. Jared calls it the angel. When he first came to Quinte, I was sitting there like this, doing one of these. And he was like, what did I get myself into? But two baits moving at the same time. And then the tricky part is when a fish does come in, I try to get one bait high, kind of out of the way. I'll even like put it beside me. And then I'll work the initial bait I think the fish is going to. And then if he skyrockets past that bait, I know he's going up for this one. So then I'll drop this other rod down below where that fish has just passed, and I'll work him with the rod that I know he is now going to. So it can get a little bit confusing sometimes having those fish go back and forth between two rods, but I find it's super beneficial, catches a lot more fish, and yeah, you can just have two rods all the time in the strike zone. Sometimes even the two baits really helps. They'll come into one rod, a school fish. You'll have certain fish that'll want to fire up on one bait, and then other fish in that pack will come and hit another bait. So really good little tip for you guys. I find it's the best thing for me anyways when I'm fishing in Quinte. A little tip for you guys for when you come to Quinte to try to catch those monster gold bars too. Little guy. Choked it though. Nice gold. See you, bud. Well guys, that wraps it up. back at the hotel. That's the end of the first 2-day video in Quinte. The rest of the videos should be 1-day videos. Just got off the ice, got back to the hotel, unloading memory cards over there now, and got some fish to clean, and we got a new recruit. Who's that over there? Reunited and it feels so good. So Jared's here, 2 days. I got clients tomorrow and Friday as well, but me and Jared are really gonna buckle down and focus on the fishing and filming as well. So we're gonna hopefully get on some monsters. We've been seeing a pile of fish the last 2 days, and with the big winds in the front coming tomorrow, we should kill it. We did video last year where we did a really good day. The next day was unbelievable winds. Both days were crazy fishing. It is the exact same conditions this week. So hoping tomorrow is absolute fire with some of the big marks that we saw there today. Maybe we can get on some double-digit fish. Be sure to check it out next week. Don't forget, go down below, subscribe, help out the channel. I'm really trying to drive those subs up right now. Analytics are telling me 75% of you guys are not subscribed, so just go down and do it. Help the channel out. Helps me in a big way, and it allows me to keep making videos for you guys so that I can help you guys hopefully catch lots more big fish as well. So until next week, see you guys then. Be safe, COVID-free hopefully, and see you then.